we did it. We made another video.
Well, not quite. We've started another video.
Well, we've started a video. I'm really proud of us.
Oh.
We had a goal. We stuck with it. We are now letting you know what you can ride being big or tall at Disney's Animal Kingdom.
It's the 6th one in our series.
Mm-hmm.
We started off figuring out how to get where we were going. We decided where we were going to stay. And we spent days in Magic Kingdom, Hollywood Studios, Epcot, and now Animal Kingdom.
That's right.
And just a quick reminder, I am 6'6", 360.
I am 5'8", and I wear a size 22 pant and a 1X to 2X top, depending on the cut. We understand what it's like to be in a big or tall body. We know the problems that you face when you've got to go and plan these things and you're like, am I going to even fit on any of the rides? And what's it going to be? I mean, like, there are uncomfortable things that you need to think of just existing in a bigger body. We don't have that thin privilege, and so we got to stick together and figure things out together.
Yeah. Hopefully some of this information will help you figure out what will work and what may not work. So in Animal Kingdom, there are not a ton of rides, but there are a few. And I think the one that may be the biggest question mark for most people is Avatar Flight of Passage.
Yeah.
This is interesting. Our first chance to ride this was in December of 2020. I did not expect to be able to fit on it.
I didn't either, to be honest.
The seating on this one is a little bit like you would get onto a motorcycle. You are supposed to be riding a Banshee, which is like a dragon with wings, but it's the best way I can describe it. When you ride it, it simulates breathing. There are little inflatable things on the body of it that inflate and deflate.
That seems accurate.
That song is like
movie that all of this is based on.
people used to play. It was so funny.
But the restraints are interesting because they lock onto the back of your shins.
Yeah. Yeah. So you have to kind of slide your feet forward. Think of yourself on a motorcycle hunched over, and then they jam these things up over your calves.
And if you can't get it at the right angle, they won't close.
Yeah.
So if
and
your
if they
leg is
don't
too
close,
long,
you can't ride it.
Yeah, the ride operator physically can't start it because the restraint isn't engaged all the way.
So I had seen one video of a plus size creator who had shown us the line and gone into the thing, and she did not fit on it and had to get off at the very end. But even she agreed the line was worth it. The queue's really cool. But she had suggested if you are a plus size person, especially if you've got bigger calves, to wear something very, very thin, like leggings or workout pants. Something that's not too bulky, like jeans would be a little bit bulky. So I did that specifically for the ride. I wore my Fabletics workout pants, and they were able to push my legs in, and I rode it just fine. I didn't get kicked off. I rode it and it worked fine.
So did you see the ride operator when they got me in?
Oh yeah, that was a whole story.
Do you want to describe what it looked like when they got... So I went on it twice. I didn't get kicked off either time.
Barely.
The second time was interesting because I had to tell the second guy what the first guy did. What the first guy did, I could not believe.
So the first guy, Ben, is sitting up on the thing. And remember, Ben has a size 15 foot. So he is trying to jam his foot up as far as he can so that these things can come down around his calves. But his feet are so big that he's trying to jam them forward, and there's only so much area that he can take up there, like twisted and jammed in there. And then the cast member literally
starts jamming on this thing,
like bending down on the ground on his knees,
he's like
jamming Ben's legs as tight as he can, like pushing,
like he was getting into a fist fight with the ride.
But he was on his knees trying to shove him in, and it was like, are we gonna do this? Are you gonna keep trying? And he's like, no, you got it. We're gonna get you on this ride, man. It's gonna be okay. We're gonna get you on this ride. And so he sat there shoving his legs in. I mean,
this guy beat the hell out of this thing.
By the time he got in, I was like, I don't think Ben's gonna get out of this ride. I think that he's just stuck in here forever. This is where he lives now.
But I didn't think that it would be physically possible. And so when he did it, I was a little bit shocked, but I was appreciative.
Yeah,
and then when we went back the second time, the ride operator could not get it to close. And I said, hey.
And you said, listen.
When I was here earlier, the ride operator jammed on that thing. Like, he beat it to death, and the guy's like, really? And I was like, yeah, he got me in. That's how he did it. He's like, are you sure? And I'm like, yeah, man.
You're like, push
And
away.
the guy just started jamming on it. He got it to close.
But they have to push real hard. So I think your ability to ride this depends on the cast member who puts you in it. If they want to keep pushing you as hard as they possibly can, there's a chance that it will snap closed.
But also bear in mind, like 360, 6'6".
Yeah,
I mean, you're probably getting on the outer limits. My legs are kind of slender, but they're very long.
They're very long. His was a foot size issue because your foot has to sneak up into that footwell. And for wearing a size 22 pant, which is a really big size, my calves aren't particularly big compared to the rest of my body. So, but if you have really big calves, if you carry a lot of weight in your calves, it's one that you may get kicked off of. Take it with a grain of salt. Try to not let it hurt your feelings. It is a really cool walkthrough, so being in line is kind of cool. So
I didn't think it was as great as people built it up to be, but
that was fun.
It was okay. Navi River Journey. Holy cow. Fitment's fine. It's a boat.
It is.
There's lots of room. The restraints are forgiving. Ingress and egress requires a step down, 2 steps down and 1 step up.
It's not a good ride.
Holy cow. Do you want to tell them about B mode?
So
Disco Shaman.
So when you get on it, it rides you through. There's supposed to be this really cool animatronic at the end. That's the whole big buildup. The ride, it's kind of cool. It's got, like bioluminescent, but there's supposed to be this amazing animatronic at the end that is like the showstopper. No, there wasn't. What was up there instead?
A projection screen.
A projection screen. We saw a video.
We were joking about it before we even could see it. I told Ramsey that when the animatronic was down, B mode was a projection screen. Sure enough, when we were there, it was in B mode. If
So
there's any
listen,
line, don't wait.
If there's a line, ask them very specifically, are you playing it in B mode or is the animatronic in it? Because if the animatronic's in it, it may be worth a 30-minute wait. If the animatronic's not in it and it's longer than a 30-minute wait, I would not even bother. That was a bad ride.
Kilimanjaro Safaris.
I like them. It's not uncomfortable. It's a Jeep, I think, of sorts.
It's
What kind of car is
a
it?
GMC top kick. It's a commercial chassis that they have built their own seats and like harnesses onto the top of the commercial chassis.
Okay, so it kind of looks like a big safari truck. It's comfortable. I didn't have any issues on it. You get to see the animals. It's a pretty cool ride.
I like it a lot. It's tremendously uncomfortable. Whatever direction I am sitting when I cant my legs, that's the direction I'm sitting. So I get to see one side of it or the other side. I can't turn. There's no way to move my legs.
Man, that sucks.
It's narrow.
Yeah.
So all my video that I post right now is probably going to be pointing left because that's the only direction I could face. I can't see anything to the right.
So next time we ride it, we'll film it to the right and we'll show you what animals exist on the right. It is hard. In general, it's hard to kind of see the animals from both sides. You're kind of stuck on one side or the other. But I would go early in the morning. The animals tend to be more active then.
Maybe, if they're out.
No, I'm just saying.
If they're not being operated on for a Disney Plus series. Expedition Everest.
I like Expedition Everest. I don't have a problem. In fact, I think that I rode Expedition Everest with an adult. I think I rode it with my sister-in-law. And I don't think that we had any problem getting in or out. It didn't feel uncomfortable.
It's an unusual coaster in that there's lots of room.
Yeah.
Width-wise and leg-wise. I do bump up against the front, but it's not terrible. It made me really nauseous the last couple times I rode it. I had to start taking Dramamine. The
Really?
backward section made me really nauseous.
And it didn't make me very nauseous. Although it seems to be the theme for me seems to be that roller coasters don't actually make me nauseous, but motion simulators do.
And motion simulators, I'm usually okay.
Yeah. But that's why I can't even play video
Star
games.
Tours, when it starts going, when you're at the beginning of it and it goes straight down,
Yeah.
that part makes me nauseous.
Yeah,
But Expedition Everest, I think, has one of the coolest queues of any of the rides, short of like Indiana Jones.
Agreed. The queue is really cool. The ride is really fun. I wouldn't let the backwards part scare you. I think you should try it.
It's
I
not
really
scary.
enjoy it.
It's just disorienting.
Yeah.
And also, the Yeti, you probably have heard this story for about 10 years, but it has been in B mode basically since they built it.
Yeah.
It's supposed to swipe at you. It does not move.
But the fact that it's supposed to do that, I've never seen it do it. So for me, the Yeti's always just been that way.
Most of the time, I can't even see it when you go through.
Yeah.
The lighting is so poor that you can barely tell. Cali River Rapids.
This is a water ride. It's one of those big, like, circle things. And
It's a
when
donut, and you sit on the perimeter.
on the perimeter, there's a seatbelt that goes over you. The things that make me the most nervous about this, when you're standing at the front, there's like a circle that moves in a circle like this. And then when you stand, you have to walk across the circle that's moving this way. You have to walk across it and get into your boat as the boats are moving around. I get nervous every single time because I get so disoriented walking on something that's moving that I feel like I'm not going to get into the boat in time. So that part I don't like about it. But as far as the seat goes, the seat fits fine. The seat belt fit fine. I was next to a little kid, so keep that in mind. Only go if it's really warm because you're going to get really wet.
I think they do try to lower the water level and make it a little less soaking in the colder months.
Yeah.
But we still got pretty wet.
We did.
Dinosaur. This is your favorite ride, isn't it?
I hate this ride.
What? You told
Why
me
are
it's
there
your
so many
favorite
rides that I hate? I don't mean to be such a hater.
You're giving me grief for making fun of freaking Figment. I hate Dinosaur.
Dinosaur scares me. I have an unhealthy fear of animatronic dinosaurs. I don't know why, but I can't even eat in the T-Rex restaurant because animatronic dinosaurs scare me.
Dinosaur is the same ride system and the same track layout as Indiana Jones and the Forbidden Eye.
Yeah.
The theming obviously is different. This one, I hadn't been on it for a while, and then I went on Indiana Jones in 2019 and then this in December. It really wreaks havoc on your back.
This ride is really surprisingly uncomfortable. Not only is it squished in this way, my knees were really tight.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Is like you want to find a way to support your weight, and the vehicle, the base is fixed, but then what you're sitting in is on these hydraulic and pneumatic actuators, so it simulates motion by moving around the base that you're sitting on, and it does it pretty abruptly. And so you're trying to find a place to center your weight, but because you're anchored at your hips, it's your midsection that moves around. So if you have back problems, that's exactly where everything gets absorbed.
Yeah.
And like you said, there's not a lot of knee room. So if your knees are digging into that plastic in front
Which
of you.
they were for me.
For Indiana Jones, I would say, boy, just suffer through it. Indiana Jones is a masterpiece. It's brilliant, and it's only gotten better. Dinosaurs, none of those things. If you love dinosaurs and you really think the Carnotaurus is wonderful, which I do, then you go ride it. But it's not Indiana Jones, that's for sure.
In fact, the last time we rode it, I wasn't even scared because the whole time I was focused on how uncomfortable I was, that I didn't think to be scared of the dinosaurs. I was just like, please make this end because my knees are killing me and I don't fit in the seat.
Yeah.
So Dinosaur's not a good one for big people.
So the thing about Animal Kingdom is that it's a good day. I mean, that's it for the rides. That's all of it. There are a lot of shows that are not showing right now because of COVID, but Animal Kingdom days are good for going back to the hotel, especially if you're staying on site.
Yeah,
because you can go and enjoy. Boy, you're high roller, you're big dollar, big money hustler.
Big money hustler.
So you're staying at the Floridian or you're staying at the Polynesian. You can go and enjoy the pool.
Yeah.
You can go and eat.
No matter where you're staying, the pools are going to be fun. Go hit up Animal Kingdom first thing in the morning, get everything done with, ride everything, and then, like Ben said, go back to your hotel. It's also the park that closes the earliest.
Yeah.
So, even if you were to go later in the day and stay until it closes, you'll still have time that evening. We always split up Animal Kingdom as a resort day because there just isn't that much to do at Animal Kingdom.
Well, that's it. That's all I've got for Animal Kingdom.
Yeah.
You got anything that you want to sign off with? Any final nuggets of wisdom for making it more pleasant?
I think
Go
Animal
without your
Kingdom.
kids. Leave them at home.
No.
Pretend like you don't have kids.
Animal Kingdom, I will say, is as hot as the surface of the sun. For some
Oh, if
reason,
you
the
go in
way
the
that
summer,
it's cut
oh.
out, the way that it's built, where it's built, I don't understand it. But it is hotter than the surface of the sun. And
Don't
so,
go in the summer. Ugh.
if you're there in the summertime, definitely put something between your legs, because you're gonna get a lot of rub chub and it's gonna hurt bad. So
Yeah, I tried to go in December. I forgot about summer.
summer in Animal Kingdom's no fun. Anyway, I think that's about it. If you have any questions or want to know specifically, or if you want to see something else, like I said, this was just the 6-part series that we did on our Disney planning, but there's other things that we want to show you guys in how we adjust to life as a big and tall person, people, I mean. And so let us know if you've got specific things you want us to try out and you want to see if it's going to fit you. We'll show you on YouTube if it fits or not.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah.
Thanks, Ramsey.
Thanks, Ben.